God knows how long. And, Scott has a wife and a baby, and he's very happy. So even though I have literally hundreds of dollars that I make every week, maybe that's not enough.
Well, maybe, but I'm sure you're going to find that girl, Joe. I mean, someone's going to be able to escape the chains, or won't be able to escape. You'll get them tied down. They'll be good.
Do you know, it's interviews like this that kind of hurt me sometimes, because I will admit that I play a little bit of a character occasionally. I'm not always, it's Joe Stapleton is the name, but I kind of play up a lot of things. Now, they've been doing this thing on at the EPTs now called Challenge Stapes, where basically I allow the audience to pick some ridiculous thing to put me through. And the most recent one in Monte Carlo, I had to dress up like a princess and pose for photos with tourists. And it was a funny video. But the guy that goes out under my own name. So now every single person that I could potentially date, they do a quick little Google search. They find a video of me dressed up like a princess talking about how lonely I am. And that sort of doesn't always raise my stock.
I'm really sorry, Joe. You got to talk to those guys about that. I mean, really, come on, man. That's not
Mark,
good.
if you understood how much money they paid me, and it was nearly $50, you would understand why I would do something like that.
Oh, yeah. I guess you are kind of prostituted out on that. It's okay.
Right, of course. I mean, who can turn down that kind of money? That was a U.S. grant right there.
So is it a British girl you're looking for, or you want to get an American girl again? Where would you progress on this if you had a choice?
Well, in general, I hate to say this is going to get me in trouble. I'm not the biggest fan of English women, and it has nothing to do with appearance, because they're very beautiful in general. But I find that English women at first are very standoffish and aren't really very fun until 3 drinks later, and then they're dancing on a table. And I'm really looking for something in between that. Something in between not talking to me and then throwing up in the street would be really key for me. And I haven't quite found that yet in an English girl. But the great thing about London is there's Latvians and Russians and Polish and Lithuanian and lots of great Eastern European women who are very grateful for the fact that, I can pay for a cab ride home.
Wow. So
I'm kidding.
Eastern
European.
European.
I'm not going to lie.
So you're chasing the Russian girls. I mean, you could have just gone mail order bride a while ago if you wanted to.
Yeah, no, I'm not really chasing anyone at this point. Unfortunately, what has come with my old age is that chasing women isn't exactly a priority anymore. It's just more of a force of habit. Like I'm really very happy. Eventually, when you're at a bar and you want to be honest with them, you'll say, "Hey, do you want to come home and sleep with me?" If I were going to be honest in the past. And now, if I'm going to be honest, I'd be like, "Hey, do you want to come home with me and fall asleep watching Arrested Development?" And I really mean that. Like, that's fine. That sounds like a perfectly good ending to an evening now for me, just because I'm old.
Oh, come on. How old are you now, Joe?
I'm 32 years old.
Oh, don't even give me that. Don't even give me that. You're old stuff. Come on,
Well,
man. You're in your
really
prime.
On the EPT Live broadcast, James has come up with this running gag where he says that I'm 43, and I just go with it. And do you know how many people have questioned this?
None.
One person, after all the gags about me being 43, wrote in to say, "Is Stapes really 43? I thought he was older."
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus, what are you doing over there?
Well, again, if I can quote Indiana Jones a second time, it's not the years, it's the mileage.
Wow.
And if I could quote Indiana Jones a third time, blah, blah, shibai.
Oh, my God. Well, see, Joe, I'm 44, and people think I'm a lot younger than that.
Well, you do. You got a baby face on you.
I know. I got to color the hair now, though.
You're coloring your hair just on top or everywhere?
No, just on top. Just on top. Everything else is good.
What do you do down below? You don't dye that? You just keep it real trim down there?
Yeah, the trim works. The trim works. See,
I was in San Remo recently for an EPT event, and they had what I thought at first was a second toilet in the room. Turns out it was a bidet.
Uh-huh.
And I couldn't figure out what the bidet was for, and I was like, you know what? This is perfect, because I'm always looking, when you sort of manscape, you're always looking. What do? You stand over a towel, stand over the garbage can. It's a little rude for the maid. So I decided to give myself to buzz the clock tower, if you will, over the bidet, which was perfect because you just wash it out afterward. Unfortunately, I just got right up in there, and it was just a huge mess of blades and skin and blood. And I looked down there after I literally had a piece of skin hanging off of me.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, right where the base meets the curtain sort of deal. And
that's a bad spot.
It was a mangled mess. Luckily, wasn't an issue because turns out I wasn't going to need that area of my body forever for the rest of my life. So it's fine.
Joe, someday you're going to get laid. It's going to happen.
Oh, I am really, really hoping, because at this point I could still dress in white for my wedding.
So, I'm just pissed that you're not coming out here for the World Series. That is breaking my heart.
Yeah, it's tough because, PokerStars doesn't do a ton of promo at the World Series anymore. So they have no reason to send me there. And to just the prospect of, here's the thing, Mark. I know it's going to be a lot of shock to people. I started off, as a recreational poker player, and I'd still consider myself a recreational poker player. But when I live and breathe, I travel the poker tour, okay? I go to more stops than most pros do. And so the prospect of going to the World Series of Poker on my own dime when I could be on a real vacation somewhere isn't the most appealing thing to me, because it's work. Even though I wouldn't be working, it's like going into the office in casual clothes and hanging out. And I would rather go to a beach or somewhere else where, it's not surrounded by my industry. So especially if I got to pay for it. Now, if somebody wanted to pay me to go to the World Series and do a video blog or whatever, I'd consider it. But, it's just tough to justify going and doing what feels like work and paying for it myself.
Joe, I'll tell you what, if you come out to LA, I will drive down to LA. I will pick you up. I'll bring you up here for a couple days. You just got to hang out with me for about 2 hours, not too long of an embarrassing time for you, so people don't say anything bad about you.
Yeah. Publicly or just privately?
Either, whatever works.
Do we have to be seen together?
Well, I wouldn't mind a picture.
It's okay. No, it's fine. I just want to know what I'm getting into.
Yeah, just hang for a couple hours, and do your thing and hang out with everybody, have a good time. I'll take you back. Just come on up. I will help you if you want to go to LA. I'll drag you up to Vegas for a couple days. We'll hang out and you can go home.
Mark, if I'm going to be totally honest with you, I'm a little distracted right now because there's a beautiful Russian in front of me wearing white brawn panties. So I'm just going to go ahead and close the window really quick. Okay. Yes, no, I there's a chance. I do have some time off right around the World Series, and I was thinking of maybe going to LA. And if that happened, I certainly wouldn't need you to come pick me up. I could come to Vegas on my own. I'd be happy to hang out for a little bit. Do another guest spot on your show in person or whatever you're doing from the series. What is happening? What are you doing at the series this year? Are you doing the show?
Oh, we got the booth, and of course what's coming. We haven't made the formal announcement on that yet.
Oh,
but
I guess we just did then.
Well, not really, not yet. I haven't let the cat totally out of the bag, but we've been hinting at it all this whole time. Maybe I should just let the cat out of the bag. Should I do it?
I would love to let your pussy out of the bag.
Well, you are so sweet, Joe. I'll tell you, my pussy is just so soothed because of that. Thank you.
We've always had a good relationship, me and you, Mr. Hoke.
I know. It's just my wife's out there looking at me saying, "My God, what's going on in there?"
Your wife / PR department / secretary / producer.
No, just my wife / hit me over the head with a hammer.
Aha.
Pretty much it.
Well, some people have to pay extra for that.
Yeah. I got it for free. Well, it's never free. But hey, yeah, that sounds.
Please don't dig yourself in any deeper right now. I can't be held responsible for whatever happens off air.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
Right. I have a question in the chat box, by the way. Are you still doing comedy? Somebody was asking if you're doing improv or anything like that.
I always found improv to be really tedious, and maybe I'm just not that good at it, but just so nerve-wracking for me that I didn't go much beyond the couple of courses I took at UCB in LA. I have been sort of kicking myself for not pursuing comedy a little bit more here in London. The thing is, Mark, I just got off work in 21 days, right? San Remo, and then Monte Carlo right after that, the grand final. The final table lasted around 18 hours. I don't know if you heard.
Yep.
It was 18 hours of live commentary, of which I was off air for a grand total of maybe 2 hours of that, including breaks. So, and heads up was 9 hours. We finished at 7 a.m. So when I get home to London after doing a stint like that, I don't want to do a lot. I end up spending 3 days on my couch watching The Walking Dead and, opening various pornography sites and stuff like that. And so I don't pursue comedy, but I've made it a pact with myself that I was going to do it. So I actually have a stand-up date booked here in London, June 11th. It's a very small room. This is amazing. I went to go check the room out. They don't even have a microphone.
Wow.
So it should be very interesting. But I just need to get out there and do it. And even if I go out there and have the worst stand-up experience possible, it'll be worthwhile for me because I need to get back into it. I don't want to be a stand-up comic, but it's kind of like, if you want to be, it's like, well, do you want to be a master chef? You're like, yeah, no, I'm a master chef. And they're like, okay, well, can you make toast? And you're like, no, yeah, I don't do toast. So I just need to do it. You know what I mean? I need to get back on. I need to go out there. I need to work. I need to be hungry again. And so I'm getting back on it, getting back on the comedy horse, unfortunately.
Well, I wish you all the best with that. I mean, I remember you had some video up of when you were doing some stuff in L.A., didn't you?
I did. What I did was I did this this promotional thing for Star. It's called Heads Up with Stapes, where I went over to Liv Barree's house and we played Guitar Hero with electrodes attached to us. And whoever lost was going to have to go to an open mic night. Liv was going to do some rock music. I was going to do stand-up. I lost. I went and did stand-up. That's up on YouTube, Heads Up with Stapes Part 3. And it was one of the worst stand-up experiences of my life. I don't know how long you have for me to tell this story, but what was amazing was because the production went ahead of time. And they said, hey, they went to this open mic. Hey, open mic night. We want to shoot this guy. Is that cool? And they were like, sure. So I got there, and it turns out that it was not a comedian's open mic night, Mark. It was a musician's open mic night.
Oh shit!
So before they got everything going, the MC says, all right, everybody, I know you're excited to come up here and play your songs, but first, this comedian. And everyone's like, yeah, yay, okay, cool. I just want to go up there and play Dave Matthews Band. So I got up on stage, and unfortunately also I wrote a bunch of material about an American living in Britain. And it turns out that this particular open mic night was taking place in the bar of a hostel.
Oh, no.
Which was full of European backpackers. So there were no people that could understand American living in Britain humor, except for two Americans who were sitting in the front row, who happened to be unfortunately overweight. And my first joke is about how fat Americans are.
Oh, Jesus!
And so the only two people in the audience who could have identified with me, unfortunately, were alienated by my first joke. And then they had their 9-year-old daughter with them. And now we're on the internet. I can say whatever I want.
Yep.
One of my jokes about England, it's very bizarre to me, is that it's crazy to me living in a nation where the word soccer is more offensive than the word cunt. This joke did not go over well with the 9-year-old girl sitting in the front row. I'm not going to lie, Mark.
God.
And so this entire experience was not a good one for me.
Wow.
And if you guys can see this, they're fairly kind to me in the editing, but again, it's called Heads Up with Stapes, and it's on YouTube. But so that was my first experience doing stand-up in London. So I think the second experience with no microphone, how could it be any worse?
I can't picture it being worse, Joe. Just bring a megaphone and a football helmet, and I think you'll be all right.
And by the way, for anyone listening, I would never use that word in general. It just seems to be it flows pretty freely here in this country.
Yeah, it's a very British word. They use it a lot.
Yeah, they're okay with it. It's not a good word here, but it's not that bad either.
Yeah. Wow. What a terrible job, Joe. I'm very sorry. Unreal. Well, Joe, what do you have coming up here? I know we got a Canada Cup coming up, and some other things going on.
I think just a few weeks in May, the Canada Cup starts at the Playground Casino in Montreal. And the Canadian guys over at Poker Stars have decided they want to do a live webcast. So me and Hardigan are going to fly over and do a couple days of commentary from there. But there's tons of events going on. If you guys are at all able to get to Canada, if you have any Canadian listeners, it should be a great time. And I love going to do stuff like this because I love meeting people. I really do. It's such a blast to go out, and Canadians in general have been super cool to me and are some of the nicest people on the planet. So I encourage anyone who's around, come on out, buy a drink for me, buy one for Hardigan. He doesn't like interacting with the fans as much as I do, but I like to drag him along. And sort of when things get weird, I go, hey, we'll talk to James for a while. I'm going to go talk to this girl, and then I just abandoned him. So it should be a really good time. And I think there's like $150 events, and I think the main event is pretty reasonable. It's like $2,100 or $3,000 or something, and there's satellites running on PokerStars, obviously, which is the best way to win your way into any of these things. Are really great satellite opportunities on Stars.
Yeah, thanks for reminding us, Joe.
Oh, sorry. Right. I don't know who listens to your show right now. Are you
Everybody.
worldwide? Or are you
Vegas? I'm worldwide.
What?
You bet. I have
okay,
Ethiopia, Iran, everything.
You need to realize that there's a rest of the planet out there.
Yeah, exactly. I got him covered for the most part.
Okay. All right.
That's all right. So everybody outside of America, have a great time with Joe Stapleton at the Canada Cup.
No, but you can still go to the Canada Cup and buy your way in. You just can't satellite it if you're in America.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe I'll find a way to get up there. That'd be a shitter for you.
Mark Hoke, you've seen me on the road. Is there anyone more fun to hang out with on the road than Joe Stapleton?
Absolutely not. You are the man.
Do you remember that really awkward experience we had where I was like, hey, I'm going to head up to my room, and you're like, that's cool. And then we were in the elevator. I was like, so where are you staying? You're like, another hotel. I was like, I'm actually heading to my room.
Yeah, I remember it well. That was that was a great trip, no doubt about it. Oh my God! Well, hey, don't forget, if you want to follow Stapes, at Stapes on Twitter, one of the coolest Twitter accounts out there too, and one of the great guys in poker. And Joe, I want to tell you, just from a personal standpoint, very proud of all the success you've had. I know it was a long, hard road for you, and doing what you're doing. I know a lot of people out there love your work and enjoy hearing you on the EPT broadcast. You're definitely one of the bright spots in poker, and we all appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you saying that. It's very nice, and I'm trying my best to just keep making poker jokes. 7 years later, what did we decide it was? 9 years later? Oh my God, 9 years of my life. You know what? I'm quitting.
Done.
I just decided. No, Mark, I do appreciate that, and also congrats to you because you've just been plugging away. And you know what? There are a lot of people who write to me. Not a lot, maybe one ever, who writes to me asking like, how do you get successful? How do you do this? How do you do that? And I say, just keep, if you truly love it, if you truly are into it, just keep doing it forever for no money, and eventually someone will pay you to do it. And I think that you're a great example of that, Mark, because you've been plugging away at this show, and I don't know what your show makes now or what it used to make, but you've slowly crept your way up, and I think there are big things in store for you. And you would be an example of someone I would point to and say, look, this is a guy who's been busting his ass for years and is just slowly making his way there.
Wow. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. That's a great compliment, especially coming from you. That means a lot. So thank you.
Yeah, buddy. Congrats on all the hard work. And I think like I said, I think there's big things in store for you.
All right. Just get your ass out here to Vegas. We got a show to do, buddy.
I will do my absolute best to get to Los Angeles. And if I'm really, really bored, then I'm coming to Vegas.
All right. Sounds good. Well, Joe, hey, thanks for taking the time to call in. I really do appreciate it. Always great to talk to you, and best of luck with everything with the EPT and trying to get laid in London.
Of course, man. Thanks a lot. And tell your wife I'll see her later.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Thanks, Joe.
Have a good one.
All right, there you go, everybody. Joe Stapleton. Oh, my God. Oh, that guy is something else, but one of the great guys in poker. I'll tell you what, if we, if everybody was doing commentary like Joe, we'd be having a lot of fun all the time. No doubt about that. Let's get Nate Dowland back on the show here. Yeah, Joe's got it covered. He is something, isn't he? Joe Stapleton, everybody. What do you think, Nate?
That was a fantastic interview, Mark.
I love Joe.
He's a great guy.
He is a great guy. And it's kind of funny because, I got to spend some time with Joe when he was doing one of the Deep Stacks Poker Tour events. We were up at Seneca, Niagara Falls. And, Joe obviously has an image that he portrays on the shows that he does. And, he's still that funny guy, but he's really down to earth and a well-grounded individual. He's just an absolute blast to be around, and he's one of those guys that if you knew you had to trust him, you'd be just fine. He's a great guy, and I want to thank him for taking the time to come on the show. I know it's a little late over there in London, but pretty cool.
Absolutely fantastic, and it's good to hear that he's having so much fun on the EPT too.
Yeah.
But he misses home.
It would be great to get him back home. It really would. Poker Stars, come back, please. Please.
They've signed deals. Now if they can just get it through the legislature.
Yeah, someday.
If they can grease the right wheels, right?
They've got the grease. They have a pile of grease that would go to the moon. Just somebody's got to, dive in and get all lubed up and go. Did you like how I worded that? By the way, that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Stapes does that to me. I'll tell you what. There's just no hanging with Stapes. He is the man. Unbelievable. Well, hey, we got Leonard Lang gets to follow that up. Good luck. Leonard's a great guy. We'll be talking LA poker with Leonard here in just a little bit. Of course, we also have event number 16, the final point standings event for the Off Tilt Poker Tables Tournament Series, coming up here at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. If you want to get in there, go on PokerStars. This is PokerStars.net. Click on the Home Games tab. Club ID is 629454. That's 629454. 629454. Password is RogueWire. That's RogueWire.
Didn't get it wrong this week.
No, I got it wrong earlier in the show.
Did you?
And I'm so mad because I think the broadcast went on for about 10 seconds for some reason. So now I'm going to have to piece together that recording. Boy, that really sucks. That sucks a lot. But, oh, well, we'll do it.
You love creating more work for yourself.
I didn't do it. Stupid internet. Swear to God.
Stupid internet.
All right. Well, hey, let's step away. Let's take another break, and we're going to be right back. Leonard Lang coming up here on the Mark Hoke Show. Thank you for being with us. Nate Dowland, of course, along for the ride as usual. So stick around, everybody. We will be right back.
Do you dream? Do you dream big? The WSOP Academy can help make that big dream a big reality. If you want to learn more about the game of poker, we're here to teach you, and we can do it better than anyone else. With the most bracelet-winning pros, the biggest prize pools, the lowest student-to-instructor ratio, and the highest student success rate. No other live poker instruction can compare. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or a poker beginner, after you attend one of our classes, you'll walk away with a broader understanding of the game, greater appreciation of the skill that it takes to win, and a roadmap to advance your game as far as you want. Whether you're trying to improve your tournament game or cash game, the WSOP Academy will raise your game and your confidence to a world-class level. Visit WSOPAcademyLive.com to register for your game-changing academy today. Use promo code HOPE to save a bet.
When it comes to custom poker tables, why would you buy something someone else designed and even named for their sales or marketing purposes?
The Nighthawk, the Gambler, the Big Slick, the Nuts.
Sure, you can customize it if you want, as long as you choose between black, red, or even green cloth, but that's about it. When you choose to play Off Tilt, it's not just another table, it's your table. The same price gets you a fully custom designed table that reflects your style and game. Off Tilt makes it easy to design a truly one-of-a-kind custom poker table that'll give you home table advantage. Sure, Off Tilt could name their tables for marketing purposes, but why? It's not ours. We don't play on it. And to be honest, there are over 1,000 named Off Tilt tables worldwide, including the WSOP, the Deep Stacks Poker Tour, the Jonathan Papelbon, as well as Julie's, Chris's, Scott's, Amber's, Tristan's, just to name a few. So let us add your name to the list and deliver a truly custom-crafted, furniture-quality poker table worthy of your game. Visit www.offtiltpokertables.com or call Brian Knott today at 262-490-3812. We'll show you why Off Tilt is the only way to play.
At Team Poker Joker, we build innovative, high-performance, poker-focused apparel designed to keep you cool and calm in tough situations. Wait, no we don't. We've just got a cool brand representing the suits of this beautiful game called poker. Our gear won't make you better, but it will keep a smile on your face. So don't be so serious and show you know how to have fun. Get your Poker Joker gear today at TeamPokerJoker.com. Grin and win today at TeamPokerJoker.com.
The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water, and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out, no matter what you're doing, when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code Mark Hoke Show when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
Want a chance to win the Poker Notes Live premium version for free, valued at $10? Poker Face News is offering an exclusive promotion only to the Mark Hoke Show listeners, whereby one version of the Poker Notes Live premium app is being given away for free every week. To win one, sign up to the Poker Face News email newsletter, where you will also be the first to hear exclusive interviews with some of poker's most interesting personalities, as well as much more. Sign up now at pokerfacenews.com/Mark Hoke. That's no spaces, no dashes, pokerfacenews.com/Mark Hoke.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
This is The Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
You bet your ass it's The Mark Hoke Show. How you doing, everybody? Sunday.
It's always beautiful here. Vegas.
Yeah, we are having a blast out here. Excitement, and more excitement for this show every day. And of course, we're going to be back on KMLAV on Wednesday with another great guest, as we always have. So that should be fun. And, speaking of guests, Nate, our next guest is calling in right now.
Oh, fantastic.
So I will say goodbye to you, sir, and let's get Leonard Lang on the air. Leonard, how you doing?
Not bad, buddy.
Well, welcome back to the show, Big Sexy. How's it going, man?
Doing quite well. Thanks for having me.
I got to have a little fun. Man, I get Stapes on and I just lose it.
Dude, he was freaking awesome.
He's always awesome. He is.
I can't believe.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I would not have thought that I would hear the word cunt on your show.
You usually don't. I honestly think that is the first time in 3 years that has happened. But hey, it is the internet where you can say those kind of things if you so choose. It is Stapes. Stapes gets a big leash with me. You kind of have to with him.
I got you, man. He's definitely built a name for himself as far as well, as we all are, hopefully.
Yeah, and Stapes is an example of a guy. And I really appreciate the compliments that he gave me. But Stapes is one of those guys. He's just been grinding away for so long, and to be able to see him over the past couple of years really have that success that he certainly deserves is just incredible to see. Of course, he did a lot of time down in there in L.A. He was at the John Lovett's podcast theater and everything with Huff and Stapes and doing his thing, and now to see him out there doing so well and really do you think right now he could be the most popular broadcaster in poker?
All of that said, at the ripe old age of 32.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that he's actually my pseudo girlfriend. She's a big fan. She watches all of the EPT shows, and Joe's just, with no pun intended, he's such a staple of the show, right?
Yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's good swing on there. Oh, now before I get into asking you serious questions, pseudo girlfriend, I gotta call you on that one. What is a pseudo girlfriend?
Well, we're working kinks out. Basically, without getting too far into what we're going to be talking about, I had been working a bunch basically nonstop for 5 months straight, starting with the Mega Millions at the Bike in January, followed by LAPC, and then so on and so forth. And I just concluded a stint over at the Hustler Casino, and yeah, it's just been a huge grind. And so we're feeling things out.
Wait, now this is gonna be a great story. So you now have a pseudo girlfriend that you met at the Hustler Casino. Am I correct?
No.
Okay.
Right. No. We had been dating for about a year, but yeah, we because of the 5 month just work. I was working 5 months straight, and we went through a rough patch, and we're just trying to figure things out now.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. All right. So
yeah.
Well, that
Good
is
stuff.
tough. I think that people don't realize when people that are in positions like yourselves that have to, be constantly out on the road and buried in this stuff and working such crazy hours, it does take a toll on your personal life. I mean, a lot of poker players suffer from that as is, but I think the ones that really take the hit are the ones that are guys like you that are out there just grinding away, doing all these other things behind the scenes and trying to keep things going. I mean, it's a 24/7 job almost.
Absolutely. One of my mentors is Matt Savage, and he has inspired me, to work at this. Him and Sam Quinto, who's now the shift manager at the Commerce. This job isn't for the meek, and I have to kind of give him kudos because he's able to maintain a long distance relationship with his wife oftentimes just because he's traveling a bunch as well.
Yeah, it is a hard life, that is for sure. But so let's talk a little bit about what's been going on in the LA poker scene because obviously so many great places to play down there and a lot of ones that maybe people don't necessarily know about per se, but it's an incredibly competitive market with a ton of quality tournaments. Take us through that 5 months that you were working through and what was going on down there if people haven't had a chance to really get involved in that.
Right. Okay. Well, first of all, the value is just tremendous. You basically have 3, maybe 4 venues in the LA area that just continuously push the bar in terms of what tournament poker is and basically what it should be because once one tournament series is over, it literally goes nonstop to the next casino. Namely the Bicycle Casino with the Mega Millions, followed by the LAPC, which ran, close to 2 months, followed by the Winning of the Green / WSOP circuit, which went for a month. After that, it went straight over to the Hustler Series, which was the Liz Flint Spring Poker Classic that just concluded this past Wednesday, followed by the Cal State Poker Championship back at the Commerce.
That's nuts. That is nuts.
Mark, it is a tremendous scene out here, and I'm so glad that I've been given the opportunity to kind of be this LA ambassador for the game. But I can't advocate for it enough.
So let me ask you about the Hustler Casino because that's not one that a lot of people talk about. But I've done my homework in there, and they have some great tournaments, and the value of playing at that place is pretty darn good. I mean, that's a very underrated stop on the circuit if people want to get out and play there.
Right. Well, first of all, the lead out there is Craig Kaufman, and he's a great guy, ambassador of the game as well. He's been in the casino business for 30 plus years, and he just has that old school. I mean, the Hustler Casino itself is a great property. But also the fact that it's kind of like that hidden gem. It has a lot of history because there used to be an older room called the Gardena room or something to that effect. And the bottom line is the Hustler, it's starting to build this following in terms of tournament poker because it does get good value. The prize pools, become ginormous. I mean, you have $500,000 guarantee, and it ballooned to over 800,000. With 180,000 to first. I mean, it's just pretty crazy.
Yeah, and the Mega Millions, what an event that's turned out to be. I mean, amazing pools on that, and some innovative ways of running that tournament. Tell everybody a little bit about the evolution of that tournament and where that's headed.
Well. So my first mentor is Mo Fatihpour, who's the tournament director at the Bicycle Casino, and I actually quote unquote grew up in the game with that tournament because it put the bike on the map in terms of the what they call micro stakes poker tournaments, where you can buy in for $100+ with an optional add-on, and all of a sudden you're playing for $250,000 guaranteed. With $1 million guaranteed prize pool, which is now ballooning upwards of $2 million. I think the last prize pool was $1.75 million or something to that effect.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it's been a growing process. I mean there's new and innovative things that Mo has implemented into the structures. Multiple ways to qualify, anywhere from the 5% field for the lower buy-in to a $500 buy-in where 10% advance, and then you can actually buy into day two with average chips, and that's actually worked out tremendously for both the players as well as the casino, because the final table will consist of one or two of the day two buy-ins.
Right. I mean, it is an amazing structure when you read through it. There's so many ways to get through that thing, and certainly one of the cooler events I think out there on the poker circuit right now. I did read an article just a couple of days ago from Donnie Peters on Poker News, who was talking about the difficulty of scheduling, and how some of these great events are piling up on top of each other. And I can only imagine, I mean, you're just dealing with the LA market as it is, and it's complicated enough. How difficult is that in terms of keeping the schedule straight for everybody? So they're trying, there's going to be overlap obviously to a point, but keeping everything in a good position where you're not going to damage your event by overlapping too much. How hard is that for these guys right now?
It's tremendously difficult and always a challenge, not to quote unquote step on each other's toes just because you do have a finite market. I mean, like it or not, you have a certain market that each casino is catering to, and when you have these tremendous guarantees and these great value tournaments, but if the events are in fact overlapping, then you're doing a disservice to both the venue, both the card room as well as the player, because you're making the players choose. You're basically competing for the same market, and it just doesn't make sense. They've done a lot better nowadays. In fact, like I said, with my services as a paparazzi, so to speak, doing a lot of localized reporting and helping out with the social media for the casinos in LA. I mean, we've been in discussion about how we can kind of balance the amount of events. Maybe we start with a larger event, and then the other casinos have a smaller event, and then you kind of flip the script, on down the road if they do it overlap. So you don't have major guarantees overlapping.
Well, how much do you worry about events outside of Los Angeles when those schedules are coming into play? Obviously, the World Series is one thing, but do you look and say, well, the Borgata Open's going on, the $10 million guarantees going on in Florida. We got this EPT event going on. This event's going on in Australia, and there's so many different factors there. Is that something you can even have the luxury of taking a look at and saying, okay, or just worry about what's going on in LA?
You are 100% on the pulse, Mark. That is absolutely a concern. Even the bigwigs like the Matt Savages, of the world, he's constantly trying to, do his due diligence when he's creating a schedule for not just the WPT, but his home stops like the Bay 101s, like the Commerce casinos. It's a big challenge because we're constantly doing our research online, trying to say, oh, hey, why aren't players, the big name players, why aren't the big name players coming in for these events? Oh, because there's, like you said, an event, at Borgata, maybe even in the Midwest, like the WinStar. There's a bunch of big name, up and coming big name tournaments that bring a lot of the almost pseudo international names, like the Matt Salzbergs. I mean, he's a tournament grinder that has been traveling not just the LA circuit, but now he's going international. And so having a pulse on where the players are going is something that everyone in the LA market is concerned with.
Yeah, and the other consideration is you want to try and get the guys, like the Matt Salzbergs or the Daniel Grounds or Phil Hellmuth to come to your event, but then at the same time you also want to make sure that you're playing to the masses too, and the big names will get you a little more attention, but the goal is to try and make money. I mean, that's got to be the top priority.
Right. That's again, it's not a slippery slope, but it's definitely a balancing act, Mark, because people want to play with the pros. People want to play with, like you mentioned, the Negreanu, the Hellmuth, and it's a big draw. It's a huge draw when these big name players come out for certain events. Even if they're smaller names like the Mega Millions at the Bicycle Casino, when where the Sorel Mizzies, the Barry Greensteins, the Chris DeMacy's, of the world, they do come out for these events, and they will buy in for 5,300. The Nam Lees, the Matt Marafiatis. I mean, they realize good value. I mean, people don't really talk about the dead money, but yeah, I mean, a one-day tournament, basically a 2-day tournament, for $250,000. They will find their way to the casino when they hear of these tremendous values, and so the casino is always cognizant and not to overlap hugely with some of the other named events out in the poker world.
Now, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit and try not to get you in trouble too much here. If someone said to you, you have a lifetime buy-in to the main event of one LA tournament series, you had to pick one and that was it, what would it be?
Wow.
I know I'm really being mean to you here a little bit, but if you had to pick one, which one would you pick?
Oh, wow. Okay. The cool thing is that the WSOP has trailblazed. They have been the trailblazers since poker became kind of like a household name. The WSOP is the most prestigious event out there. There's a bunch of tournaments like you mentioned, the WPTs and merging with the Deep Stack Poker Tour and things like that. But I mean, there are WSOP circuits in the LA area. If you were to put me on the spot, man, I mean, I'm an LA born and raised. If I had to say, if I was going to stay in one place and play poker for the rest of my life, I would still have to say I'd take a lifetime of buy-ins in LA.
Oh, which event? Which event would you pick if you had to pick one of them?
Oh, wow.
Which LA event would you pick?
Which LA event would I pick? Oh, man. Well, I mean, outside of the World Series, the major buy-in, the only 10K buy-in right now in the LA area is the ET Commerce LAPC Main. That is certainly prestigious because you have the best in the world literally coming in just for that event. So, gosh, if I had to stay in LA, that would be the event I'd buy into.
What is so different about the LA poker scene as opposed to Las Vegas or what's going on in Florida right now or Atlantic City? Why does it stand out so much to everybody?
I think it's the proximity and Hollywood and the perception that this is. I mean, not even perception. I'm sorry. The weather is tremendous. We're having great 80 degree sunshine weather. I mean, granted, it's coming. Spring, summers is coming along, but the point is that the weather's great. The poker scene is all within the 30-mile radius of each other. There's a lot of great cash games with a lot of good competent poker players in the area, and the quality of life is just tremendous. And so I think that's why, to be honest, California, specifically the LA Southern California area, is just an awesome place to be to play poker.
Yeah, and let's see. I have a casino examiner in the chat box saying LA San Francisco card clubs are second to none. Vegas is not even close.
Yeah. You know what? To be honest, though, if you're talking about the if you're talking about tourist versus the local scene, it is different, because, myself frequenting Vegas, on vacation and so forth, it's a different vibe. They're catering to some of them are some of the casinos are catering strictly towards tourists and tourism and the recreational players, and then there's some that are targeting the LA, or excuse me, the Vegas crowd. I believe that LA is strictly catering towards the LA market, okay? And if they do have outsiders coming, then they're more than welcome. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's very intriguing to see how the scenes are so different up there, and still Vegas kind of claims it has the claim of being the poker capital of the world. And I don't know if that's just because of the World Series, but certainly LA is in that mix. I don't think there's any question about it. Given the rooms that are there and the volume that's happening. What do you see in the future for the LA scene? Is there anything new and innovative that's going to be happening down there, or how is the scene going to be different maybe in 4 or 5 years as opposed to what it is now?
Well, Mark, it's funny. You mentioned what is it? Letting the cat out of the bag on your end, with regards to your show, and hearing what Stapes is looking to do, potentially, missing California or missing LA and wanting to come back out here. But everyone has just heard that PokerStars has signed an exclusive agreement with Morongo Casino, the Commerce, Hawaiian Gardens, and the Bicycle Casino. So I think that with the discussion of the online poker scene eventually coming back into the fold, I think that the LA market is going to grow, as well as the poker industry in general. But on my end, as a poker promoter, as a poker, a poker player, an ambassador of the game, I myself want to help push the game forward. So, if doing more poker media, getting the name and the word out there, about the events going on in the LA market, as well as ideally, creating an LA-based poker tour that piggybacks off of these already localized events, like the winning of the green, like the Cal State Poker Championship that's going on in Commerce, like the Liz Flint events. If you're able to create kind of like a localized poker tour, where the LA, or any player that plays, get some sort of notoriety or some sort of recognition for being the best and brightest of the LA poker scene, I think that could be the future, of LA, of the LA poker scene, just because, it puts both the LA players on the map as well as the venues hosting those events.
Now, you mentioned this PokerStars deal, which I think is pretty interesting, and my sources are telling me that there is going to be a bill that's going to get passed in August. It sounds like it's a done deal out there. So let me throw this out to you. Do you think that, if an online bill does pass in California, do you think that they should be tying into other states and creating compacts, or do you think that California should just stay on its own and, let the world come to California?
Wow, great question. So basically, to kind of reiterate what we're saying is would California be a standalone, or would we try to assimilate and basically have other states also accept, an online bill?
Right. Yeah. So other players from other states would be able to play on the sites in California.
Right. I mean, seriously, I think that having an online presence is paramount for the game itself, and so restricting it only to California, I think would granted that would be a first start, of just getting your foot in the door, kind of like what New Jersey has done, and Vegas, with the WSOP.com. But yeah, I think that having the other casinos, the other states adopt it as well, would be an awesome progression and something that's necessary.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, a PokerStars is popping up in California. Boy, is that going to get interesting real quick. I mean, especially with the New Jersey fighting that whole thing, but putting them on hold. it's such an interesting universe right now when it comes to poker that, with some amazing possibilities here in the United States, and, who knows where it's going to all end up. It's getting pretty exciting, though.
I couldn't agree more, and I can't actually wait for that to happen, because a lot of people are playing on various smaller sites like the Bovadas, like the Carbons, like the Lock Pokers, and for some reason it's just not the same, because there's still that black eye, and people now realize that they don't want to play on something that's not legitimate. They want to legitimize it and not look at it as a some sort of bastard stepchild type of situation, and have the possibility of their funds being locked up for an unknown quantity of time.
Now, of course, Leonard, and of course we're on with Leonard Lang. Probably better say your name in here at some point again. We have the World Series coming up, and some great new events. A ton of things going on here in Vegas coming up here in a couple of weeks. When you saw the schedule, what do you think are going to be some of the events that you're looking forward to seeing, returning, or some of the new ones?
Well, first of all, I was actually just talking to my pseudo-girlfriend, Suzanne. She's actually messaging me on Facebook and asking me if I'm on right now. But the $1 million one drop, I mean, that event is just unparalleled in terms of exposure, and it's just, we were just talking about, like, if you won $1 million seat, what in the world would you do with it? Would you try to sell shares? Would you just sell it? Because $1 million is $1 million, So I think that's humongous. The main event with the 10 million guarantee is just, mind-boggling. Everyone is always talking about the millionaire maker. Hopefully, they'll fix the schedule as such so that they're not canceling events, or they're not able to fit so many players, in the rooms and so forth. So, I'm looking forward to a great summer, and actually coming out to work with you again.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I can't wait.
Yeah, way to put me on blast and say that the last time I was on the show was out in Vegas, and that was a fun impromptu situation as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got to stay in better touch. I will take the blame. It's my fault. So,
you know what?
I got you covered.
It's a mutual. We're both hustling in our own way, and I'm really happy and proud of what you've done with the show and your own personal branding. And I'm a huge advocate and proponent for you, and so I hopefully we can both grow in the industry together, and as individuals as well.
Well, golly gee whiz, I'll tell you what, everybody's trying to make me blush on the show today. Between you and Stapes. See, now I'll get Nate back on here. He'll put me back in my place.
he's the Casilla to your Abbott.
At the moment, yeah. Between him and Joe on KLAV, it's pretty painful sometimes. Yeah, I kind of take it, but it's all right. I don't mind. Yeah. So Larry, what else do you have going on right now? What's on your immediate docket?
Okay. Well, certainly, I'm supporting a bunch of my local grinder poker buddies at the Cal State Poker Championship. But right now, I'm focusing with Mo Gathipour over at the Bike. We have a meeting tomorrow on working on the promotion with the Deep Stack Poker Tour, which is going to be at the Bicycle Casino starting May 23rd of this month. But the crazy thing, we were just talking about the WSOP, and the Bike has just started this promotion that's going to roll out at the beginning of June with 25 main event seats guaranteed.
Wow.
Okay. But the crazy promotion is if you are one of the 25 players that win the seat, and you go out to the series and you ship the main event, the Bike is going to throw out $1 million bonus on top.
Woo!
Yeah,
that's not bad.
If you could check out thebike.com for more details on that, but it is, like, I was talking to him the other day about that particular like I said, promotion, and we're going to be promoting the heck out of it. Another thing is that if when this all concludes, in the early part of June, I may actually go out there and if I'm not one of the 25 lucky players, I may actually go out and cover these 25 players, and kind of give media updates on how the players are doing back to the bicycle casino. So there's a bike blog and so forth. So basically updating, the local LA scene on how these ambassadors are doing out in the main event.
Well, there you go. I'll tell you what, you're not going to get a better deal than that. Boy, turn that into $11 million. Jeez, wow, that's good.
Yeah, and if you look at the buy-ins, we'll be promoting it more and more as the month progresses. But as low as $75 can win you, like you said, $11 million.
Oh God, what a story that would be too. I mean, that's like moneymaker too.
100%, and I applaud Mo and the bike for putting together such a great promotion. I think it's going to be the talk of the town, especially if and when an LA player is going to make a deep run. Coming out of the bike, you can call it a huge mega satellite tournament, if you will.
Yeah, it's something else. So make sure you check that out at thebike.com. So now all we have to do is get me down there for an event or two, just to hang out, have a good time. I'll do a couple broadcasts. I come cheap.
Mark, you know what? You and I both. Hey.
There we go. That's what the wives and girlfriends say. But anyway, wow. Well, I'll tell you what. Hey, make sure you guys follow Leonard on Twitter at Poker Paparazzi. One of the coolest Twitter accounts out there. I mean, Leonard does such an amazing job keeping track of everybody and following the entire poker scene, not just LA. So make sure you check that out. And I personally want to thank you for coming on the show again. I had a great time getting to talk to you once again, sir.
Mark, it's always a pleasure. And like I said, I was pleased and I was definitely. The fact that you'd asked me on your show, it's a pleasure. It's all mine.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But we all appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hey, and I will see you in a few weeks at the World Series.
100%.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your show, Mark, and thanks for having me on.
You got it, buddy. Take care.
Take care.
All right. There you go. Leonard Lang, everybody. Covering the LA poker scene like nobody else in the business. He is one of the best around. Another good guy to have in poker, and I got to meet him, and he is just one of the coolest guys out there, and really, just a great genuine individual too. So make sure you give him a follow there at Poker Paparazzi on Twitter. You can also follow Grinding Ground there at Nate Dowling. What's up, Nate?
Hey, what's up? That was a great interview, Mark.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we always have. What a good show.
It is.
Stapes and the Poker.
It's funny trying to listen to you whore yourself out sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I'd love to go down. That is I think that's the only one of the few cities that I have not covered an event in yet. Is LA.
And I knew that. I was trying to tell you how big, once you walk into one of those rooms, you realize how big the poker universe is in LA.
Oh, the rooms are ridiculous. I mean, I certainly have done my research, but I've never actually done a broadcast down in LA, so I want to, maybe after the World Series I'll get a shot at doing that. That would be fun.
Just go down and play. They got like $40 max buy-in games where you can't buy in for more than $40.
That sounds like fun.
Well, just go down and play. Take the kids to the beach. We'll go up and play for a couple hours and go back to the beach, swim in the ocean, and go back and do some World Series coverage.
There you go. Sounds like a plan. So there you go.
Next Sunday, man. Let's go.
Next Sunday. I think we're a little busy right now, Nate.
Yeah, I want to win a poker table.
Yeah, we're quite busy. We have a lot going on right now. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, thank you for being with us here on the Mark Hoke Show. And coming up here in 16 minutes, those spots are going to be decided. The top 18. So who's going to be playing for a brand new poker table in 2 weeks?
Who wants to knock me off the hill?
Well, you're already ensconced on the hill. It's just a matter of being able to hold the summit at some point. We've had some sick things happen. We've already given away 2 poker tables from Off Tail Poker Tables over the years, and looking forward to getting another one in here. And right before the World Series, perfect timing. So Should be something else. So go to pokerstars.net, click on that home games tab. Club ID is 629454. That is 629454. Password is RogueWire. That is RogueWire, is in RogueWire.com, our host website for the internet show. Come on in and play. The water's fine. Should be fun.
I feel like you brought in a ringer.
I brought in a ringer?
I'm going to take down that damn table.
Well, Nate, I wish you the best of luck.
I want it.
I really, really do. You have played incredibly well in this series, whereas Nate has won 3 tournaments in this thing. First person ever to do that in any of the 3 series. But there have been a lot of people that have been banging away on this thing and doing very well. I mean, we usually have a lot deeper scoring pool, but not this year this time around because everybody's, it's been a lot of dominant performances, to say the least. I mean, you go back and look at the standings on the Mark Hoke Show Facebook page, and you'll see it. There's some people have been really crushing this thing.
I just do what I do.
I just do what I do. All right. And, hey, of course, I want to mention a couple of the sponsors of the show. Make sure we get them in here. Our good friends, of course, at Double Digit Covers. Hey, if you want to win, you know what these crazy guys did over the weekend on Saturday?
Oh, how many game 7s?
Not only on Saturday, they did a 3 pick package where they did the Mayweather, or they did a game, NBA game of the month, playoff game of the month. They did an MLB featured pick and the Kentucky Derby. Plus, they were also giving out the Floyd Mayweather fight and had another featured NBA pick. 5-0, unbelievably accurate. That's what they do at doubledigitcovers.com. So check them out. You can give them a call. You can sign up for free picks sent to your phone, or if you want to get one of their packages, which I would advise you to do. They are sensational, great guys in there. Check them out, doubledigitcovers.com, or you can call them. They'll be back in the office on Tuesday. Call 855-489-2700, and you can get on there. In fact, tell them the Mark Hoke Show sent you, and you can get a free day of service from them. So give them a call. We'd certainly appreciate it.
Did they have an over-under on how many people got trampled on the way out of the fight?
I don't know.
There were 50, 24 of which were transported to the hospital.
That was a crazy night. That was an interesting fight. We'll talk about that when we get into the tournament a little bit, I think. We also want to say hi to our friends at Poker Face News and Poker Notes Live. Don't forget about that promotion that we're doing. If you sign up for the Poker Face News newsletter and then go over and download the premium version of the Poker Notes Live app, where you can take notes and do all sorts of cool stuff right on your phone, you can enter a drawing to get the premium app for free. It's a $10 value. So go ahead and get your newsletter and go over there at pokerfacenews.com, and all the details are over there. I think it's a /Mark Hoke, and you can get in on that and get a pretty cool app too. So take a look at that. We also have our good friends at, let's see, Final Night Comic. Don't forget that. First issue's out. So if you would like to read one of the coolest poker comic books ever, actually, I think it's the first one. Get on board. It's final9comic.com, and you can certainly have a great time with that. And by the way, don't forget to follow the Grindettes. Follow the Grindettes at Grindettes on Twitter, the Grindettes on Facebook, and of course, Grindettes.com. Jamie Kerstetter, Katie Stone, Katie Dozier, and Jennifer Shahade. I smell a bracelet coming up this year, Nate. I do. I think there's a Grindette bracelet coming.
They're all playing well.
They are playing well.
I just listened to another training podcast that Jamie Kerstetter was. She was doing a hand lab on the podcast, and she does an amazing job of breaking down hands and why people should be betting and how much and why. And it's fantastic. If one of them are going to take one down, I wish Jamie Kerstetter the best. I think she's a fantastic player. Yeah, and Katie Stone's playing very well right now too. So, keep your eyes peeled, kids. It's going to be a very interesting World Series, and following those ladies is always exciting. So, make sure to check them out, Grindettes.com. Oh, all right. I think we're going to take a break because between Stapes and Leonard, I'm half brain dead right now. Just 2 awesome guests we had on the show, and we will come right back, and then we're 10 minutes away from
18 players being selected. It's like, it's kind of like March Madness. We're going to find out who's going to play for that championship in a brand new custom-built poker table from Off Tilt Poker Tables right after this. So stick around, everybody. And as soon as I get my cursor in the right place, we will be right back.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit blindsquirrelapparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Missouri stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel. Sports bettors, tired of getting beat every week at your sportsbook? It's time to stop guessing and start winning. We all know cash is king, and it's time to let the team at Double Digit Covers come to the rescue to help you get the positive cash flow you need to live the life you've always dreamed about. Tony Dos and his all-star sports handicapping team will be in your corner to help you beat the point spread, bring excitement and winning to your betting experience, and build your bankroll to levels you never thought possible. Get free winning sports information at doubledigitcovers.com and call now for today's free winner at 1-855-489-3500. That's 1-855-489-3500. Stop guessing and start winning today at doubledigitcovers.com.
The heat is on. Whether you're in the hot seat of a major poker tournament or just dealing with everyday life, stay cool with a brand new Arctic Blue cooling towel. Just wet your reusable and durable Arctic Blue cooling towel in cold water and you'll have instant cooling relief at your fingertips for up to 5 hours. The towel is lightweight and pliable, so you can keep it handy no matter where you are. Plus, it's absorbent enough to make sure you and your clothes stay dry while you stay cool. No need to sweat it out no matter what you're doing when you have an Arctic Blue cooling towel handy. So get the same cooling towel used by professional athletes, poker players, first responders, physical therapists, U.S. automakers, and even reality TV stars. So what are you waiting for? Visit them today at arcticblu.com and pick yours up today. Plus, enter the discount code MarkHokeShow when you check out and get 15% off plus free shipping to keep some of your cold hard cash in your wallet. It's like the Arctic Blue Bear says, it's not cool to be hot. So pick up your Arctic Blue cooling towel today.
One man, his lucky shirt, an unforgettable night, and a winning streak that never seemed to end. That's how Blind Squirrel began, and we haven't looked back since. We make the clothes that we want to wear for the places where we want to look and feel our best. The game, the speakeasy, and the casino floor. Blind Squirrel's small batch, high-quality gear is for people too busy grabbing life by the nuts to bother with crappy, ill-fitting clothing. Because like you, we prefer our nights long, our drinks strong, and our lucky shirt to be our most comfortable. So look good, be lucky, and visit blindsquirrelapparel.com for your new favorite shirt. As an added bonus, you'll receive 20% off your purchase with the promo code HOKE, H-O-K-E. You can also pick up Blind Squirrel apparel at the Borgata in Atlantic City and in Las Vegas at all Missouri stores at Mandalay Bay, Monte Carlo, The Mirage, and MGM Grand. Look good and be lucky with Blind Squirrel Apparel.
When it comes to custom poker tables, why would you buy something someone else designed and even named for their sales or marketing purposes?
The Nighthawk, the Gambler, the Big Slick, the Nuts.
Sure, you can customize it if you want, as long as you choose between black, red, or even green cloth, but that's about it. When you choose to play off tilt, it's not just another table, it's your table. The same price gets you a fully custom designed table that reflects your style and game. Off tilt makes it easy to design a truly one-of-a-kind custom poker table that'll give you home table advantage. advantage. Sure, Off Tilt could name their tables for marketing purposes, but why? It's not ours. We don't play on it. And to be honest, there are over 1,000 named Off Tilt tables worldwide, including the WSOP, the Deep Stacks Poker Tour, the Jonathan Papelbon, as well as Julie's, Chris's, Scott's, Amber's, Tristan's, just to name a few. So let us add your name to the list and deliver a truly custom-crafted, furniture-quality poker table worthy of your game. Visit www.offtiltpokertables.com or call Brian Knott today at 262-490-3812. We'll show you why Off Tilt is the only way to play.
Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Then follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show and like our Facebook page at The Mark Hoke Show for show news and outstanding poker content from around the world. Plus, enjoy the show anytime by subscribing to our podcasts on iTunes or at markhokeshow.podbean.com. We're even on your mobile phone at markhokeshow.podbean.com/mobile. Thanks for listening and being a part of The Mark Hoke Show.
This is the Mark Hoke Show.
The Mark Hoke Show.
Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back here on the Mark Hoke Show. Of course, this will probably be finishing up your podcast as we get ready for the Off Tilt Poker Tables Tournament Series, event number 16. So, we do appreciate everybody tuning in with Joe Stapleton and our good friend Leonard Lang, Poker Paparazzi. Stick around for this tournament, kids. It's going to be a fight. Of course, make sure to follow us at Mark Hoke Show on Twitter, on Facebook, The Mark Hoke Show, and, of course, go to podbean.com/Mark Hoke Show, and you can get yourself some awesome podcasts. So it should be pretty cool. So check it out. We'd certainly appreciate it.